the universe and space exploration. An orbit is the path an object in space takes while it moves. Generally, objects in space, such as planets and comets, take elliptical orbits around larger objects, such as a star, as we can see here. An asteroid is a combination of rocks and iron that is too small to form a planet. There are many asteroids that orbit the Sun between the orbits of Jupiter and Mars. A comet is a small body of gas and ice orbiting around the solar system. We can see the tail of the comet because it is the Sun heating and melting the ice. The most famous comet is Halley's Comet, which is visible from Earth every 75 to 76 years. The last time it appeared was in 1986, and it will next appear in 2061. A star is made up of clouds of gas and dust. Many people love to go outside at night and count the stars, but there are so many that it is impossible for one person to count all of them. A constellation is a group of bright stars that form shapes or pictures in the sky. The Southern Cross is a constellation, we can see here, in the southern hemisphere that points towards the South Pole. The Big Dipper is a constellation in the northern pole hemisphere, that's the shape of a ladle. The Sun is the star in the middle of our solar system. The 8 planets in our solar system all orbit around the Sun. The closest planet to the Sun is Mercury, and then comes Venus. The planet that we live on is called Earth. It is the 3rd closest planet to the Sun in our solar system. Mars is the 4th planet from the Sun. It is a small red planet named after the Roman god of war. Jupiter is the largest of all the planets in our solar system. The next planet is Saturn, which has thin rings around it. Uranus and Neptune are next 2 planets after Saturn. Pluto used to be considered a planet, but now it is called a dwarf planet because it is so small. Its orbit is further away from the Sun than any other planet. A solar eclipse is when the Moon's orbit comes between the Earth and the Sun, and it looks like the Sun is blacked out. We can only see the edge of the Sun around the Moon. A lunar eclipse is when the Earth prevents the sunlight from reaching the Moon. Because the Moon orbits the Earth and the Earth orbits the Sun, we can see parts of the Moon at a time. The cycle happens every month, and we call this a new moon. It is when we cannot see any of it or very little of it. A full moon makes the sky bright at night because it reflects the light of the Sun. The galaxy we live in is called the Milky Way. It is made up of billions of stars. A telescope is an instrument which has reflective lenses that allows us to see the objects in the sky closer and clearer. It magnifies objects that normally cannot be seen unaided. Some telescopes are very powerful and can be used to see thousands of light years away. There are many large, powerful telescopes in the north of Chile. An astronaut is a person who leaves Earth to go into space. Many of them work in the International Space Station and do scientific experiments. Astronauts need to wear spacesuits because it is very cold in space, and they do not have oxygen to breathe. A spacecraft is any type of vehicle used for traveling in space. There are many different types of spacecrafts. A space shuttle is a spacecraft used for repeated use in between Earth and a space station and contains astronauts. A rocket is the type of plane that astronauts used to fly into space. Now they are used just to leave satellites in orbit around the Earth. It has a special cylindrical shape so that it can go very fast for a long distance. A space probe is a type of spacecraft that does not have a person inside. Space probes can be sent to far distances for long periods of time to gather information about different areas in space. A lunar module is a small craft used for traveling between the Moon and the largest spacecraft orbiting the Moon. When the men first walked on the Moon, they came out of the lunar module. The first man to walk on the Moon said, "One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." Many people have said that they have seen unidentified flying objects, or UFOs, but it is unclear what these objects are and who or what is inside them. Some people believe they contain aliens.